Welcome to the world of stupid. Forget about schooling children. It's time to school stupid humans. Class is in session with Boneheads 101. Coming this November on 5. It's been a while. This is yours truly, Jonathan Rios, and coming up on this edition of Ask the Manager, we're going to be talking about the year that was, and we're also going to be talking about what is wrong with some of these fast food places, why do the workers want so much more pay, plus we're also going to look back at the season that was for us here at W.O.N, and look ahead to Supergirl number 4. That's right, the 4th fan film of our installment of our Supergirl Underwater Pearl fan film series. That's all coming up on this edition of Ask the Manager. It's time for me to answer your questions. Hello everybody, welcome to this edition of Ask the Manager here on UPN5 W.O.N YouTube Networks. This is yours truly, Jonathan Rios. It has been a while since I've done Ask the Manager. I don't think I've done any this year. If I have, I don't remember. It's been that kind of a year, not a good year at all. I don't think for not only this country, but for a lot of people, for a lot of reasons, I guess. Today is election day for this nation, and like I said, has been a bad year for this country, so most of the voters are probably going to voice that out in the polls and try to get all these idiots out of Congress, out of their chairs, and send them back home to get a regular education. But, see, I don't vote. I know a lot of people tell me to vote. I should be registered, but I have my reasons. I don't like the way the country is headed right now. We got 2 more years of having a lame duck president, and we have stupidity going in Washington and all over the world with all this kind of stuff. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to take a while for us to head into that light. Or maybe not. We don't know what's going to happen. But it's been a bad year. Boy, my goodness. I can't remember a year like this. And I'm 26 years old. And the way I observe life, it seems like the bad years always fall on a 4. For me personally, the worst number 4 year was 94. For obvious reasons that I'm not going to say on the internet and on YouTube. 2004, I suffered through depression all the way up to 2005 because of the things that were happening in school and at home and everything else. Then you go 10 years later, what do we have here? Too many debts, too many threats of war, all this kind of stuff. It's mind-boggling. It's been absolutely ridiculous this year what has gone on. Not only with this country, but other countries and everything else. And you're always wondering, when is it going to stop? When is it going to end with all this bloodshed and these threats of war and all this kind of stuff against people and countries not getting... You always wonder, when is it going to end? When is it the turmoil? When is all these... Because in September it was bad. We were hearing about the Russia thing and the ISIS thing and the Ukraine thing and the Israel thing. It was getting monotonous. But now we're in the month of November, and it seems like things have started to cool down. I think the Russia and Ukraine thing has died down a little. I heard the troops have withdrawn, so that's a good sign. The war on ISIS continues. We continue to kill thousands of terrorists, even though they still threaten everybody. But I guess you can say the airstrikes have been effective. I'm not sure. I'm not paying attention to the news anymore. I told my mom this because I had suffered a depression lapse in September because of everything that was going on, particularly the anniversary of 9/11. And I live in New York, so even if you didn't know anybody there, you're still affected by it. And it affected me tremendously. I told my mom this, that I will not be looking at any news agencies from Yahoo or anything else, and because it was all depressing. It seemed like every day between August 29th to just a few weeks ago in late September, that all we were hearing was bad news. We were hearing rumors about World War III. I'm like saying, that's impossible because we have the UN and all this kind of stuff. But it seems like things have died down. Good for us. and everybody else, there's still issues. There's always going to be issues in the world. That's the way it is. I mean, as things die down, yes, there have been, and that's good. But again, there'll still be work to be done. You know, this country is in dire need of getting its respect back. I'm sorry. Obama looks like a nice guy. There's no question about it. But he's lost. And with Congress, in the current people in Congress right now, he's going to be more lost. And he has said the wrong things at the wrong time. The way he says them has been very insulting. And the people in his administration have been more stupid. I mean, it's ridiculous. They put our country in a bind where we're not respected that much like we used to. Okay? Now, no matter if you're in the politics or anything else, we know that George W. Bush was not the brightest president in the world. But you know, he kept us safe. And he meant business when we said we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And all the countries took notice. Now, do we know if they took him serious or not? I say 50-50. Do they take Obama serious? No, they don't. With the stooges that are in the White House right now who are telling him this and that. I mean, come on. There's a reason why Syria and Iraq is so screwed up right now, because they underestimated what was going on. Now, are they underestimating things now? I don't know. I think us as American citizens want to find out what is the main deal. Now, have we killed a couple of these Irish terrorists? Yes, about 1,000 we've heard. So the airstrikes are working. But here's my question. When it comes to all of this ISIS thing, are they the biggest threat? The answer is yes. When you threaten the entire world, the answer is yes. They even threatened the Russian president and the Iranian president, the Iraqi president. They threatened most of the enemies who we're not friends with. I mean, Russia, we are right now in the lowest point of relations with them. Even though they have said they want to normalize ties, that's going to take a while for them to be trusted again, especially under the president right now of Russia. I mean, I can't judge the man. We've heard about, you know, he's bad and this, bad and this, bad and this. That's not my place to say it. And I listen. I listen. When you threaten the entire world, you are the biggest threat out there. Okay, period. I don't care if any of these countries have nuclear weapons or stuff, because I think some of these presidents and these administrations are smart enough to know the damage that a nuclear weapon can do. Okay. But I think the terrorist one is more likely, because this is not from a government. It's from radicalists. It's from people who want to hurt us for no reason, because they hate everything that we stand for, freedom and rights and this and that. I mean, it is so many things, and they just want to hurt us. We've heard about, oh, they're doing this out of the word of Allah or Islam. No, you're not. You're doing this to hurt people. You're doing this to hurt people and kill people. For what? For your own private amusement? And you know, I go on Facebook every day and I look at the news. What these people do to these kids and the women and the children. Oh my God. It is mind-boggling how sad and scary it is. And my question will be, and it's always going to be the question, and I think it's the biggest question this year than any other year. When will the world stop fighting among itself and actually team up together to defeat this sick terrorist group? That's my question in all this. When are we ever going to fight amongst each other? When are we going to stop fighting amongst each other about different things, about territories and invading this and taking this and taking that and building this on this land? When are we going to stop fighting among ourselves? Come together as a world. Now, what happened in the UN in September, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. But we need more. Airstrikes, are they going to do the job? Maybe, maybe not. Will ground troops do the job? The answer is yes. And why the hell is this president hesitant? I can understand why. Because he does not want the country to go through another war. He doesn't want to lose more people due to the war. He doesn't want thousands and thousands of troops to die. We've already lost tons and tons of military personnel and fighters with the war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan. The results? We took down Saddam Hussein and we took down Osama bin Laden. Did we find weapons of mass destruction in Iraq? The answer is no. That is the biggest thud. But we did take down Saddam and we did take down bin Laden. Can we take down ISIS? The answer is yes. But more needs to be done. Now, can we get anything done with Congress now? No. It's a house divided. Now, I don't vote. I'm not registered to vote. I have my opinions on the politics going on in this country because I don't like the way the White House and Congress is right now. But if I did register to vote, I get every idiot in that place out. And that's what you, the voters, have the chance to do today or tonight, whenever the hell you're watching this, okay? This is your chance to get the idiots out of Congress and get real people, real true politicians who serve you to do what's right for this country. I'm not a liberal. I'm not registered as a Democrat or an independent or a Republican. I'm just saying the way I see it. We need people in the White House and in Congress to do what's right for this country. Now, this is the midterm election, so that means to get these idiots out of Congress and put real, true politicians in. That's what we need to do. And once we do that, I think the country will be fine. Now, how long will it take? Lord knows. I don't know. But there's one good thing about this. Now, whether you're an Obama fan or not, I like Obama. But he has not been a good president. I am sorry. This thing about change, yeah, it changed for the worse. For the effing worse. And again, he's a nice guy. But there's an old saying, nice guys don't do that much of a good job in the White House. What does this country need? Do we need somebody like Bush? Do we need somebody like Reagan? And it's funny, you look in all the history books. Everybody mentions what Ronald Reagan did. Was he good for the country? Some people may not be a Reagan fan. Maybe they lived through it and didn't like it. But I tell you, he changed a lot of things in the 80s for this country. Can we have that type of president again in 2016? That's yet to be determined. We don't know who's going to step up and head on the challenge. And if that next president is a woman, hey, that's great. But the question is here in 2016, as we're not too far from it, whoever's elected president, can they not have the House divided? Can we actually have Congress be in office instead of taking all these damn vacations? Can we actually have a president administration that doesn't screw up foreign policy? Can we have an administration that doesn't screw up the health care reform and education and job situations? Can we have an administration that hears the people talk? Can they hear us? The ones who didn't hear us, they'll hear us today and tonight once the polls are opening. You press the button, ding, ding, ding. When they close, they'll read it, they'll hear you. And by the time they hear you, they'll be on their way home. Why? Because you voted them out. So today's election day, midterm elections, another sign that one of the worst years, I think, in modern history is coming to a close fast and furious. But light is picking into the tunnel of 2014. There are some things that are getting better. We're doing a job with terrorism. We're killing those bastards. I guess the Ukraine thing is starting to die down, I would think. So there is light in the tunnel. Will that tunnel become more brighter toward the end of this year and throughout 2015 and maybe throughout the rest of our lifetime? That's yet to be determined, but there is some light coming in the tunnel. A little bit. But a little goes a long way. Stay with us. We got more to do here on Ask the Manager. I'm going to bring you a clip that I did early this summer on my Facebook page about fast food workers demanding more pay. And this was recorded, I think, during the summer or the spring. I can't remember. But I had an experience with one worker, and you will find out what occurred at that place, that fast food place. So I'm bringing that to you, and then after that, we're going to look at what the season was for our network and look ahead to Supergirl 4 and some other things we have planned this month. So stay with us. This is Ask the Manager right here on UPN 5. Stay with us. Watch out, they're coming. There's no time to lose. It's time to bounce around and spin around. No time to hide. It's time to come out and watch the loony animals. Coming this November to UPN 5.
Carlton Fisk calls all my pitches. Even this one for these washable, durable White Sox placemats from your hometown Pizza Hut restaurants. Oh, yeah. Just order any Pizza Hut pizza and get a set of 2 White Sox placemats for just 89 cents. There are 4 White Sox placemats in all, and they're available only at your hometown Pizza Hut restaurants. Hey, what's that? Fork ball. Fork ball? I don't even have a fork ball. Where'd you learn to catch?
Hello again, folks. I was thinking about this today, especially what happened today over in Burger King. And my question is, why are these fast food workers asking for $15 an hour? Do they really deserve it? And I'll bring this up why. I mean, you're flipping burgers, you're making French fries, you're pouring soda. I think everybody does that at home, you know. And I understand you're serving customers. But I think there's a lot of reasons why folks don't think that they deserve $15. Here are my reasons why. You're either rude to the customers, you don't give the customers what they want, you have attitudes, you don't have a smiling face on yourself. I mean, seriously, you expect to have 15, and then you take your sweet time. The waiting part is ridiculous to make food, and I'll give you an example here. And it happened to me today. That's the reason why I'm making this video. And it's one of the mind-boggling situations I've ever experienced. Now, I already know when it comes to me, I unfortunately rub people the wrong way. I don't know why, but I do. And I didn't do anything here. And the person who I was waiting for to get the food was a female. And let's just get to the story here. So I go to Burger King in Flushing around Broadway, right under the JM and Z train. If you ever live in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, it's not too far from Woodhall. And I go in there and I order 6 burgers and 4 French fries. All right, no problem. I pay the lady. It's a different one. So then comes the waiting. I got my ticket that says number 76. They call it now. There's a fat Hispanic lady. I don't know who she is, but and she looks like she's around my age. She calls 71. 72, 73, 74, 75. I said, okay, looks like it's going fast. Remember, my ticket's number 76. But then, my burgers come in. She looks at it in a funny way. 6 hamburgers. She looks at me. Don't know why. So then, a person drops a couple of fries into the things, I guess. I don't know. She looks at me again, and you know what she does? She puts down the paper where they put the French fries, and she bypasses me with the fries and serves 5, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 customers that came right after me. She served them all fries. I had to wait 20 extra minutes for lousy, small, classic, little puny fries. Are you kidding me? Because she gave me 2 dirty looks. And she was mumbling to some coworker for some reason. I don't know why. Kept on looking at me, and I was saying, what's going on here? See, it didn't hit me until after she got to ticket number 80. Okay, she served 77, 78, 79, 80, and 81. Now, folks who know me a lot, I have a big mouth. And I try not to be disrespectful to females. I wasn't in this case. But I'm telling you right now, you talk about being stupid. Beyond recall, this was stupid. There was no reason to put me through that and keep me waiting for 20 minutes. I'm shocked that my food got cold. Because somehow or other, she gave me 2 dirty looks for some inexplicable reason. She decided to make me wait, and wait. I'm like saying to myself, what is she doing? She's serving all these other customers here. My number is 76. It's not 72. It's not 78, 81, or even 103. It's 76. You had my burgers right there. You have the fries right there. But you know this. You know I'm holding 76, and yet you keep bypassing me. Why? No explanation. But I did hear somehow that I don't know. She was talking to somebody saying that she don't like me for something. Why? Why? Seriously, you didn't take an order from me. You've never taken an order from me, and you're gonna say you decided to buy it because you don't like. Why? What the hell? And these people who want to work in the fast food want $15 a buck. This $15 a buck. Are you kidding me? That's lousy service. That's freaking lousy service. You people work at fast food. You think you deserve $15 an hour for what? Being a buffoon? Come on, man. My grandmother and grandpa can make better hamburgers and french fries than you people. And they're dead. God forgive me. So, I mean, I don't want to hear this stuff about, oh, we don't get that much thing, oh, this and that. Hey, listen. Treat the customers with some respect. We'll give you some respect. Which we should technically do. Now, I know a lot of people, they like to be very, very rude and stuff like that. But if the person that's serving you is rude, then you have to defend yourself. In this case, I got crucified because, I don't know, she took 2 looks at me and they were dirty looks, and she bypassed because she didn't like me? Lady, I don't even know you. Surprised you could fit through the door at that place. Unbelievable. I shouldn't be surprised, you know, because this has happened to me for 26 years. Somehow people like to pinpoint what I do, what I look like, what I dress like, if I have a beard or not. But I mean, this is a restaurant. There's no need for that. You don't even know me, lady. Unbelievable. I remember towards the end it was kind of funny before, because she didn't want to serve the fries. She said, oh, I don't know where the papers for the fries. Really, you just took out a paper of French fries. You know those small paper things they put the French fries in so they're small? I mean, you're going to tell me, oh, yeah, I couldn't, listen, I can't find the paper with the French fries. You took them out, lady. You can't find the papers for the French fries? You want me to find them for you? Call me and I'll find them for you. That's scary that you can't find them, you fat fuck. Shame on you. $15 an hour, go sit on the toilet and rotate. Rotate until you go thin. Unbelievable. I'm not trying to insult. I mean, $15 an hour for fast food people? You kidding me? And I tell you what, if they get that, there's something wrong with this country. There's something wrong with this country. Because there's people in New York City who are struggling to make ends meet. And these people who flip burgers for, I guess, a couple of years want $15 or more. I understand you're trying to make a living, but do you actually deserve higher rates than other people, like city jobs or regular jobs like working in a store or being a security guard? No, sirree, Bob. Burger King have it your way? Really? If we don't get it our way, what makes you think you'll have it your way when it comes to your paycheck? I hope you don't get it your way, especially after what happened today. That's just a perfect example why people don't want these fast food workers to get a $15 an hour, because they don't deserve it. And they're rude to customers. And I mean, come on. You keep me waiting for 20 minutes because you don't like me, and you're going to talk amongst yourselves. Seriously. What makes you think you deserve $15 an hour? In fact, how does this sound? What makes you think you deserve money I pay for the food? Think about it. And then when you realize, well, probably people won't realize what I'm saying, but, you know, when you realize why people don't want you to get $15 an hour, why don't you remember what you've done to a couple of customers and then come back and talk to me?
Hello, this is Universal City Studios, where we're filming Dragnet. I'd like to take just a minute to talk to those of you who will soon be 65 about signing up for your Medicare benefits under Social Security. Now, it's very important that you go into your Social Security office 2 or 3 months before your 65th birthday, regardless of whether you plan to retire or whether you want to continue working for a while. If you wait until you're already 65 to apply for Medicare, you will have lost some of the protection provided by this health insurance. The time to sign up is before you're 65, not after. Now, if you have a question about Medicare or about any of the other Social Security benefits, write, phone, or visit the Social Security office in your community. The people there will be glad to help you.
Don't you hate it when you go to answer the phone and you've just missed the call? All you get is that eeet. Well, with return call, if you don't make it to the phone on time, it's okay.
Hello?
It remembers the last number that called you and automatically calls it back. But now let's say the phone rings and you don't want to be interrupted. But what if it's an important call? With caller ID, you can silently screen your calls.
Barbara, you okay?
Honey, it's time.
I'll never get home in time. Start breathing. I'll call Kate.
Call waiting lets important calls get through. It's the most popular Bell Atlantic IQ service. Call now for call waiting.
Mike.
Barbara just went into labor.
Okay, I'll pick her up and meet you at the hospital. Let me get back to you, Mary.
Be there for the people who count on you. Call now for call waiting, caller ID, and return call. There's no service connection charge.
Kate. Yeah, we did just try to call.
Call 1-800-272-1006 now for IQ services, and the service connection is free.
Some banks give you hundreds of locations where you can get cash. Citibank gives you hundreds of locations where you can get banking. Not just cash, real banking. Make deposits and loan payments. Transfer money between accounts. Even pay Citibank Visa and MasterCard bills. 55 different transactions at hundreds of locations, 24 hours a day. Where you live, where you work, or both. Citibank. When, where, and how to succeed.
All right, welcome back, folks. You just saw the fast food rant I had, and hey, listen, pretty funny stuff, I guess. But it's the truth. Why are you gonna, if you can't serve the customers right, what the hell you need to get paid for? I mean, it's ridiculous. All right, folks, we're up to the last segment, and we look at the year that was for us here at W.O.N YouTube. And like I said, it's been a bad year, I guess, for me personally, and most of the world and most of this country. But I will say it's been a pretty good year for our network once again. I'm not going to say up top 2013 because we did accomplish some things in 2013. 2014 we accomplished a little bit more. Pardon me. We did our third Supergirl fan film, which was a success again, thanks to all you folks who watched. And we are in the midst of having Supergirl 4. And that's going to come out on November 25th on our sister channel, the U. You will have sneak previews between November 19th to the 23rd right here on UPN5 with the trailers and the teasers. And you can also see some of the screenshots on our Facebook page at W.O.N YouTube, which is our facebook.com/W.O.N YouTube, and even the projects page at facebook.com/Supergirl Endurance. That's our Supergirl Facebook page. And I think a lot of folks, I get messages all the time about why am I doing this type of series for Supergirl Underwater Parole. And I say to them, and I've said it so many times, that we're touching on a Pearl situation that is barely touched, not only in fan films and parody films, but in films in general. If you read any of the Supergirl comics, you know that Supergirl gets into a lot of issues underwater, whether she's in the ocean or the lake or the river or a city thing or something like that. And my thing was to bring it out there. Now, the first agenda, of course, was the Kryptonite necklace pull scene, which was a huge success. And then the fight against, I guess, a heroine turned villain, a rogue villain. And then a few months ago, we decided to go differently. There were flaws in the third fan film. There's no question about it. I even admit it. But it's done well. Positive reaction. That's the reason why we decided to do number 4. And it's going to be interesting, number 4, because we're doing a crossover. Even though the character for the crossover, we have to use a different name. But it's going to be very interesting. And I know a lot of folks enjoy watching it because of Jack LeDoux. She's the best looking Supergirl we've had, or a lot of people have seen. And she makes the series work. And she's part of our network, of course. So she's part of the page. So we thank her for that. And it's coming November 25th on the U. and sneak previews in a couple of weeks. They're going to get it filmed on November 18th. If anything changes, of course, I'll break it to you via Facebook. Other things to tell you about, we are going to be returning New York Rangers hockey to UPN 5 and the rest of the W.O.N networks, along with New York Titans football, which will make a season debut on Thanksgiving night, and it'll be right here on UPN 5. And not only that, for the first time on W.O.N YouTube history, we're going to be bringing you college basketball. Now, I did college basketball for W.O.N Radio, which I still got a bunch of audio tapes, in 05 and 06 with St. Francis Terriers basketball. That's a Brooklyn College team, part of the Northeast Conference, and we are going to be doing gamecasts of that, powered by EA Sports NCAA Basketball 10. I know a lot of folks want EA Sports to do college sports, but on right now that's not going to be happening anytime soon, if ever. So we're going to bring you a lot of games of college basketball on UPN 5, and I'm thinking about 5 Alive just for the college basketball. Hockey, basketball, and college basketball or football, and Supergirl 4. What more can you ask for? That's what's on tap here on W.O.N YouTube for this month and the entire year. Of course, next year we'll see what happens. Hey, you never know. Maybe it could be another Supergirl on the horizon. Maybe the Sox get the drive for 6. We never know. And, of course, I want to thank all of you folks who watched Sox baseball this year. Another tremendous turnout for you folks. We get a couple of views here and there, or a couple of hundred or stuff like that. It's slow views, but you know what? Views are views. And I've gotten a lot of messages on it on our Facebook page and also on our YouTube channel and everything else. So I appreciate all of you who have been watching our Sox baseball series since 2012. But of course, this year was a great year. 5 consecutive championships won. They beat the Braves, swept the Braves in the World Series in walk-off fashion. So next year we'll do Sox baseball again. A lot of changes, a lot of players that you know from years past who wore the Sox uniforms will no longer be in the team this year. We'll find out who it is by, of course, 2015. Well, folks, that's going to do it for this edition of Ask the Manager. I will be back in the next couple of days for another installment. Until then, this is yours truly, John Rios. I hope I answered all your questions. Thanks for watching Ask the Manager. I'll see you next time.